weeks ago, we talked about remembering that Jesus is in the boat. Last week, we talked about, and it was around this same text, how Jesus says it's important to go away and rest for a while. Right? Today's scripture, what I'd first like to do is I'd like to hear, what did you hear in this text? What is the point of this story? What did you just hear in this text? What is God saying to you? Believe. Okay. Believe.
Give what you have.
With that?
Give what you have.
Give what you have. For the boy with the 5 fish, or five barley loaves and the 2 fish. Yes.
That's a miracle, right?
With that, and then, yeah, you can expect a miracle. There's a miracle that was performed there. So it's a story about a miracle. Anybody else have other things they took from the story?
With faith, you can believe.
With faith, you can do anything. One of the things I noticed in this story was, and it was kind of in last week's story too, it seemed that the people liked Jesus for what he could do for them. Okay? They realized this guy can do some pretty powerful stuff. He could feed us forever. Let's make him king. Free lunch. He can keep us healthy. Let's make him king. He'll heal all our sick. We'll be strong. We'll be worried about the world and what the things are that can happen to us. Let's make him king. I've seen him give sight to the blind. And I've seen him make the lame walk. Now, what's wrong with only that kind of perspective of Jesus? Is there anything wrong with that? With that being your only perspective of Jesus? What's that? What about what you're going to do? If Jesus does it all, whenever I want him to do what I want him to do, then who's the one that's really God in that situation? If all I got to do is use Jesus like a genie to give me all my wishes, then who's God in that situation? Where is my work in that, like Jasmine was saying? Where is the spiritual work that I need to do? Now, I believe that Jesus does perform great miracles, even today. Powerful things happen because the church is following Jesus' way. I've seen it here in this community. I've seen limited resources be used over and over and over again so that those resources become able to do more than they could have all by themselves. An example of that is I only have so much that that we can do with missions, right, Clark? We only have so much in the resource there for that. But sometimes when we use that resource, what happens is the person that has utilized it, when they are able, they give it back. And and say, use that again for someone else who comes along and needs it. That's one way that a resource can be utilized and we can do more as a community. There are some times when people come to me, we don't have the resource anymore, but I know somebody who knows how to do that task or that particular need that's being presented. And I can direct them to that person, and that person can at least help them understand their situation and what needs to be done. So that's utilizing our resources and our mental resources, our abilities, our collective abilities. Sometimes the community becomes like the community that was there around Jesus. And they come asking for a miracle. And sometimes when the resource isn't there, then I have to ask God, how do I help this person? How can this community help this person? Now listen careful to what they're asking. And try to talk with them. There are sometimes individuals come asking for something when what they really need is help in their life, in getting their life back together. One individual came and this individual was asking for money for rent, for money for their utility bill and things like that. And each time I told him, I said, go get the utility bill, or go get the name and the things of what we need to do so that we can at least pledge towards what you've got going there. And each time in that particular individual, the individual left and didn't return with what I asked him to return with. So the individual was asking for something other than what he was asking for, other than what he was bringing for us. Now I believe, truly, that if the individual is listening, that they will be helped by that which we did as a community. And I believe that in those cases, in that particular case, had I just given the individual cash, which is against our policy anyway, but if I had done that, then I wouldn't have helped them at all. So sometimes we have to think beyond. Because here is the question Jesus asks, even though he already knows what he's going to do. He says, where should we buy bread for all these people? So Philip starts saying, well, logically, it's going to take us 6 months' wages. Can you imagine how much is 6 months' wages? Anybody? For you, just add it up in your own mind. What is 6 months' wages? Could you feed 5,000 people with 6 months' wages? Sometimes it's hard to feed myself with 6 months' wages. I know, I eat a lot. But that's what the disciples said. They started thinking logically, this isn't going to be possible, Jesus. I don't think we can do it. Andrew starts saying, well, there is some little boy here. He's got 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. But what's that among all these 5,000 people? Jesus took what he was hearing and he said, let's bring God into this. Let's ask God to bless what we do have. And let's see what happens. Let's at least have enough faith that we know that God will provide whatever it is we need. And if you think that's easy, then you've missed the whole point. Because believing that God can provide what's not already there for you, when you've got your own human mind going on it, when you got your own logic and reason going on it, if you think that's easy to just believe that God will provide it, you got another thing coming. And I'm on you to say. Because it's not easy. It takes a pretty large leap of faith
Amen.
to know that God will provide for your need.
Amen.
Now, some preachers they try to explain this miracle. I don't try to explain it. It's not helpful to explain it. If a miracle could be explained, it won't be a miracle. Alright? I'm going to let God be God and let the miracle be the miracle that it was. And I think it's beautiful. And I think it's amazing that after 5,000 people ate, this is a miracle. That after 5,000 people ate, even if it was a potluck dinner,
Amen.
that there be 12 baskets full left, that's a miracle. But boy, we clean up when we eat, right? Thanks be to God that miracles don't stop. And thanks be to God, Jesus even said this, that when Jesus left the world and went back to God, Jesus said, thanks be for those who will have to live without seeing my miracles and actually being in my presence. Thanks be to God for their faith, because it's going to take a lot more to believe in those days. So I thank God for your faith. I thank God for the ways that you have seen Jesus work. And I thank God for the miracles that you are,
Amen.
for the miracles that you have received. Because really, a miracle is a lot about perspective. Two people could experience the same event. One will call it a miracle, and the other one will say, well, that was coincidental. Or lucky. Yeah. It all depends on who you're giving the glory to.
Amen.
I'd rather give glory to God
Me too.
than luck. Thanks be to God.
Amen.
Amen.